now, and we're going to start the music, and I want you to dance with me. Here we go.
Okay.
Welcome to Read My Lips Radio, a lively hour of unscripted conversations with savvy creatives. Producer and host, akaRadioRed, asks novelists, artists, photographers, designers, comedians,
That's actors,
musicians, composers, screenwriters, directors, and technology innovators about their creative passion, inspirational muses, and how they create. Ooh, how those lips can talk. Now, here's akaRadioRed.
Thank you to the voice who gets me on the air every Monday. It's Monday afternoon. Where in the world would I be except my little corner of the world where I get to talk to really, really interesting, creative people. And some people say, oh, I can't draw and I can't dance and I can't sing and I can't paint. That has nothing to do with it. To me, creativity is how you talk, how you walk, how you think, when you pick it, you still have a phone, how you say hello on the phone, how you deal with people, how you dress, how you cook. We're all just figuring it out and creating it. I didn't come with a handbook when I was born. I don't think any of you did, and we're still just figuring it out. Before I introduce my three absolutely gorgeous and very smart and interesting guests, I want to tell you all it's June 1st. I don't know where the first 5 months went, but they're gone. It's the 152nd day of the 2026 year of the Gregorian calendar. And has anybody here a Libra, Sonja, or a Cat, or a Zumrut? Anybody born in early October like me? Nobody?
I am. That would be me.
What's your birthday date?
October 9th.
I'm the 7th. I knew I liked you. Well, back in the day when we had the Julian calendar, Julian had trouble with the seas and the moons and all of that. And the first week of October, second week of October, were cut out of the calendar, Kat. So you and I, if we were alive hundreds of years ago, we might have missed our birthday every couple of years. But along came Gregorian and he said, hey, Mom, in about, 1,000 years, somebody named Radio Red is going to sit in an office somewhere on a computer and a microphone, and she's going to talk about me, and I'm going to reinvent the calendar. So he gave us the Gregorian calendar, and we have leap years every fourth year with an extra day. Today is June 1st, and I want you all to know that Morgan Freeman is 89 years old today. Happy birthday to Morgan Freeman. Heidi Klum, the TV host and model, is 53. Amy Schumer, if you like her comedy, she's 45. And guess who was born today? You'll never guess. Marilyn Monroe was born today in 1926. It's Hazelnut Cake Day, Dinosaur Day, Say Something Nice Day. I'm doing that. It's Barefoot Day. I am. And we're going to leave all those wonderful days alone. So, ladies, I want to welcome you. Let me do my introduction here, and let's see what's going on with my notes. Everything is sitting on top of each other. Give me 1 second here. Let's just go. Here we go. So, welcome to the Creativity Show, where real life stories alight. Radio Red on her Scarlett Mic is streaming live and bright. Today, the title of our episode is, and you know who you are, The Sparkle of Creativity. I'm talking to one of you, but all of you is in our spotlight today, where resilience, reinvention, and radiance light the way. When I call your name, wave. Kat Perkins, hello. Zumrut Vardar, Zumrut, wave hello. Sonja Simpson Homer, wave hello. They're all here. Creative voices sharing journeys thoughtful and sincere. Hear how they discover creativity fresh and new with courage, humor, and passion shining through. And now I have a gift for each of you, and Kat, you're first, so listen up. From Indianapolis beginnings, where life tested her young heart, Kat learned resilience early and discovered strength as an art. After losing her mother and protecting those she loved most dear, she became a guiding light for others year after year after year. Though told she'd never amount to much, she refused that narrow view, building success through courage, vision, and determination true. From sales and real estate ventures to helping dreams take flight, Kat found ways to turn rejection into possibility and light. Then pearls, poetry, and affirmations began calling her name, Kat, Kat, transforming life's hardest chapters into purpose without shame. Now author, speaker, aka Diane Jennings, and Sparkle Queen, her message shines with power, showing creativity can bloom and blossom in even the darkest hour. Welcome, Kat.
Thank you so much. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you.
You sent me a beautiful origin story. That's why I ask. And now let's one stop around the table. Zumrut, you're next. From Turkey's vibrant cities and island summers by the sea, Zumrut discovered early how fascinating the world could be. Reading came so naturally, she skipped a grade and forged ahead as language and cultures ensured her curious mind was well fed. Italian, English, Latin, and more opened windows far and wide as learning and discovery became her lifelong guide. A water polo captain, teacher, and traveler from the start, she explored both people and possibilities with all of her heart. From technology and consulting on an international stage to studying how humans grow through every chapter and every page, now Zumrut's Alive Again book shares insights thoughtfully spun, proving creativity begins anew when life interrupts our run. Zumrut, welcome. I hope you enjoyed that.
I love that. Thank you so much.
You're
So
welcome. And Sonja, you're next. Raised in Jacksonville, Florida, where faith and wonderful family led the way. With 4 sisters and 3 brothers, Sonja's world was vibrant every day. A gifted student and young dress designer, she discovered at an early age that creativity and determination would write her life's next page. By age 14, she crafted fashions with remarkable skill and grace, though life redirected her journey to a very different place. From psychology to an airline career, she traveled near and far, exploring stories, cultures, and insights that made her a global star. Then motherhood brought a greater calling than she'd ever known before, but advocating through life's hardest challenges opened a new door. Now author, caregiver, and guide, Sonja shares her compassion true, showing creativity can transform what we endure into what we do. Sonja, welcome.
Thank you. You can make me want to cry.
You're welcome. I have some guests who say, "Are you talking about me?" I don't know who that person is. So let me wrap this up here. Show's over, ladies. We've had enough. You all cry now. So gather round where the cool kids of the cool vibe sway. We're all going to sway right now as we dive deep into creativity today. Radio Red's energy is lighting the way. We hope to inspire you to live large, love life, and play. So welcome to the 3 of you. I hope you enjoyed my special introductions.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's why, like other hosts, I just don't say, send me your media bio, 3 sentences, and we're done. I want to know who you are, how you create you. That's the point. So I'm glad you enjoyed that. Let's go around the table and get a little bit more. Let's connect the dots. So Kat Perkins, I'm going to put beautiful you. I still can't get over those gorgeous glasses. I'm going to put you on full screen speaker view, and I'm going to ask you to take about 3 minutes and tell us a little more about what I summarized in only 12 lines, trying to tell your whole life story. Tell us a little more, and then we'll go around the table and we'll talk to Zumrut and Sonja. So welcome. Kat, you're up.
Wow, I just love how you put it into as she mentioned, I am an author. I published my first book, Girls with Pearls Have Power, Cultivating Hope, Fueling Perseverance, and Celebrating Resilience. And I published that in October on my birthday last year. It was 1 year from me beating the heck out of breast cancer. So it was a tribute to myself. It was my memoir, but it had lots of meaning and feelings all poured into one thing. And I did it from a narrative perspective coupled with poetry. And that's why when you read that poem and read my narrative in that poem, I'm like, wow, that's how I live. You know, I live through poetry. I write poetry about just about every and anything, you know, so I really appreciate that. But I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, but I hail right now from Atlanta, Georgia, in the little tiny town of Covington, Georgia, the new Hollywood of the South, where they make all of the movies now. I mean, anybody comes to our little city to make all of the movies. You talk about Morgan Freeman, he's been here. Denzel Washington, he's been here, walks the streets, goes into the little stores, you know, eats lunch on the counter, you know, at the little restaurants on the corner. Covington is really a beautiful, beautiful place. But I'm a mom, grandmother. Well, actually, I'm not a grandmother. I'm a mom because, you know, I don't do the G word. I do the she word because, you know, I'm still 25, right? Even though in my birthday in October, I will be 70 years old. So I'm like you, Radio Red, you know, nothing's going to stop me. Breast cancer can't beat me. I got lots of life to live. But my book talks about my life. Where I went, where I grew up, where I came from. I lost my mom at age 9. I had to go to foster care system, stay with my aunt. She was very abusive, physically and mentally. I went to the other foster care homes, and it was just a horrible experience for a young girl. And so I took all of those experiences that I had in my life, and I kind of, I turned them into something positive. I was not going to allow life to beat me. I was going to beat it. Just like breast cancer. People say, well, you're a survivor. No, I'm a conqueror. It tried to beat me, but I wasn't allowing it to beat me. I beat it. And I will continue to beat life because, that's who I am. I am more than a conqueror. That's biblical, and that's a promise. So I stand on promises. So that's who I am. I am an entrepreneur, have been. People say you're a serial entrepreneur. I know my mind won't shut off because I'm always got something going on. So I owned an accounting firm where we help people that deals with tax issues. So anytime somebody has some issues with their taxes, they call me, and I fight the IRS. I beat the IRS down and get them, lower taxes, help them save on their money. Excuse me. And I also own a private women's club, and it's called the Boardroom. And the Boardroom is a place that women with an executive air. She's got power. She's got strength. She's bold. She's unapologetic. And this is her haven. This is where she comes to make her phone calls. This is where she comes to sit at the seat, to make her appointments, to have her meetings. This is where she comes to put her thoughts on paper and just kind of pull herself together and say, this is what I'm doing today. This is who I am. She's not being beat. She is beating life. She's sitting at the ham, at the rim, at the top of the table because she belongs there. And that's what the Boardroom is all about. It's for the female executive to let her know that she belongs there. She's not chasing the spotlight. The spotlight follows her because she illuminates every room that she walks in because her presence is absolutely amazing. That's me. That's you. That's you, Zumrut, and that's Sonja. That's you. This Radio Red. That's who we are. But that's who I am, and I'm just excited here today. I'm just excited about life because a year and a half ago, life was trying to leave me, and God said no. So I'm just taking it all in every day and just trying to do the best I can.
Thank you. Delighted to have you here. Your energy is boundless. It comes through your attitude, your glasses, your smile. Everything about you is alive. So thank you. Thank you. Let's go to Zumrut. We're happy to have you. I want to tell everybody it's right about midnight where she is. She's in Istanbul. I think you're the first guest I've ever had from that part of the world. Exactly. And Zumrut, I'm putting you on speaker view, and let's learn a little more about you. And welcome. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Red. I'm very happy and honored to be here. Well, have you ever had a moment in your life that created a very clear before and after? Well, I have. Actually, I've had several. And looking back, I can see that many of those moments taught me something about creativity, because creativity for me has often been about bridging opposites. I was raised in Istanbul, a very beautiful city that literally bridges two continents, Europe and Asia, East and West, old and new. So this idea of bridging opposites was around me from the beginning. My early life had opposites too. I lost my father when I was very small. He was a bright lawyer, and my mother, who was a teacher, became one of the steady, loving presences in my life. So yes, there was loss, but there was also love. I was blessed to be raised by my mother, my grandparents, my uncle. So early on, I learned firsthand that life is rarely only one thing. It can be missing and full of love, difficult and generous at the same time. Maybe that's why I love books so much. I was already reading at 4. My first story hero was Curious Rabbit, a little rabbit discovering the world through questions. And maybe that's why another early lesson, creativity often begins with a question. What else is present here? What am I not seeing yet? That love of books stayed with me, and then my education opened another world. I studied for 8 years at the Italian high school in Istanbul, with 4 years on a merit-based scholarship. That became a bridge to a new world, new languages, Italian, English, Latin, and later German, Spanish, and French at different levels. It was also a bridge to art, beauty, and gusto. The plays we performed, the care and elegance some teachers brought to daily life, they were all fuel for my creativity. Then in my last year of high school, I came across a quote from Pascal. True greatness lies in being able to touch both extremes at once. That sentence stayed with me because I was fascinated by psychology, inner world, but I was also fascinated by computer systems. So I chose computer systems. During my university years, I also met the love of my life. We are now celebrating more than 30 years together. After university, my professional life took me into global consulting, a fast, exciting world. But success also had a shadow. I was always on, giving my best to everything except my own life. Then life interrupted me, not once but twice, strongly enough to wake me up. After more than 20 years supporting our clients, two near-death experiences forced me to stop and rethink everything. I realized I did not need another success strategy. I needed realignment. So I studied neuroscience, became a certified master in that, and worked with exceptional mentors around the world. And from that work, my book Alive Again was born. And I developed what I now call the 5R roadmap to realign success, because I believe no one should have to almost lose their life to finally start living it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That's
That's
beautiful.
beautiful.
You have certainly done a lot and gone into so many different directions. And I have to tell you, I'm an early woman in tech, Zumrut. I was a programmer analyst, and I always think now that it should have been analyst programmer. I was coding for a big statewide system. I won't tell you the year, ladies, because you'd be shocked. But I was coding, writing my code on the weekend, 2,000 lines of COBOL code, going in and key punching it to the office at Monday morning and having it running in production by 1 o'clock on Monday afternoon. And I did that for many, many years. And then I graduated. That was a Xerox 6 CP5, Xerox 6 Sigma CP5 mainframe, and then graduated to an IBM 4341 where I was using a language that's probably ancient now called PL1, running another bunch of systems. So I have great respect for women in tech. And I have to tell you that when I was getting my degrees, 2 degrees in computer programming and computer operations, we had a lot of girls in the class, Sonja and Kat and Zumrut. We were all, I'm going to use a very difficult word, refugees from other lessons. We had people who dropped out of architecture school and people who had started medical school and didn't want it and people who started law school and didn't want it. And I was just a young divorcee with 2 kids looking for something to do to earn a living. And we found computer programming, and it didn't say, oh, you're a girl, you can't do this. We were all welcome. So I saw it from a different lens. I didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but I wanted you to know I have women in IT. I have great respect for that. Let's go forward with Sonja. Sonja, dear. Look at you, how
Hi.
gorgeous you look. I'm putting you on
Thank you.
speaker view, and tell us a little more about yourself. Go ahead.
Thank you. My name, excuse me. I have allergies, so I apologize.
No
Should have got my
apologies
water
needed.
earlier.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. You'll get it after you
So
talk. More. Go
yes,
ahead.
so my name is Sonja, Sonja, and if anyone ever forgets, I often remind them that my name is Sonja with a J. So many people call me Sonja with a J, but actually that's what they call me because they don't want to be compared to the I or the Y. So I love that, and the name was given to me by my parents because it means one who's full of wisdom, and I try to use wisdom in everything that I do. I've used that wisdom. So as a child, my nickname, I'm going to give you this one. You can imagine, was Goldilocks. We all hated locks. I and my 4 sisters. There was 9 of us. We really didn't like them. Most people loved them today. We hated them. So we would do everything we could because most of us had hair like down to our back. We weren't allowed to cut our hair. Back in the day, you weren't allowed. Woman was her beauty, was her hair, right? And my mom used to do our hair. When she would wash our hair, she would wash it in our farmer's sink, and she would have these large towels, that she would wring it like she was mad at my dad. She was wringing. I was like, Mom, really? Really? I remember back in the day, we used to use beer to condition our hair. Yeah, well, they didn't drink it because my parents didn't really drink unless they were sick or it was something religious day or something like that. So that was really funny. So there were 9 in my family. And I was number 8. Now, they say number 8 is a special number because it means new beginnings. It must have, because the rest of them didn't get anything new when they were born. And I was the first one that was born in a hospital, natural birth. My mother has never had an incision. She's never had medication, having the 7 kids before, and even when she had me. So they tell me the story of how my dad, who was very frugal, went out to get everything new for me because I was considered the new baby. I was special, and I love that. I love reminding my siblings how special I was. They hated it. I was like Joseph. So it was one of those kind of things that I really enjoyed growing up. We had a lot of fun. We didn't need other friends because there was enough of us, you know. Growing up, we all had a lot of fun. We did a lot of great things. I was athletic, and I was one of the first to actually go to a collegiate school for a year, even though my other siblings did. We were all entrepreneurs because I grew up in a family where we were all self-employed. We were naturopathics because my parents believe in, if you're going to have children, you need to raise a farm. So that's what my dad did. Next to our house, he built it, the house in 1942, him and his 4 brothers. And they started out as carpenters, later on becoming, escalated architects, plumbers, electricians, developers, anything dealing with building. And my dad was an amazing man. My mother was amazing to be able to handle us. And the beautiful thing about my parents that I would love to say about them, they never raised their voice. They had a very calm voice, and they always talked to us, not at us, but they talked to us. So I have learned great habits of how to communicate with others. Everyone does not choose their parents. They bring you into the world, and that may not be the person to guide you in your path through life. So you accept what they give you at that moment, and then you move forward, because there's something in that journey that you either are to learn or to teach or to receive. So they are all, everything is positive about it, because you learn from everything in life. It's how you view it. So you want to think about it before we speak on it. What did it mean? Some things that are harsh could actually get you moving. It could save your life, So you think about that. Had you not experienced it, would you be as avid as you are now? Would you be the person you are, the entrepreneur, the go-getter, using more than 1% of your brain? So I think about these things in my life as I went through my life growing up, and then pivoting after my career, having an injury, and then later having my child. And then from that time, because of her injury, having a heart condition, she was injured and became a heart transplant recipient. So life changed. I had to stop for 20 years, whatever I was doing, to be able to assist her in her life. And I became one of the best advocates ever, because no one could tell me anything, because there was nothing written, even to this day, for people that need it. You can ask them questions. What do you do in the case of emergency? Mm-hmm. All they know is medication. And then they give you 2 pieces of paper and call 911. By that time, it's too late. Your child's dead. That's Sonja, a fatality.
Tell us about your book just a little bit, please.
Oh, so my book that I wrote, because of 63 million Americans are caregivers, and they have no identity. They have none. We haven't addressed it. They're quietly, gingerly walking through life. So I had to write something to help others. So I wrote a book called Caring for Your Sick Child, for the medically fragile and chronically ill children. And we have so many of them. I lived in the hospital system. I navigated CMS, coordination, so many things that caregivers know nothing about. You have to have the aptitude to want to learn, and also the resources that the industry need to enforce and inject in you. They might give you a cursory 30 minutes, and that might be it. There's resources out there, but not enough. They don't teach you how to navigate. And this is where I came in. I wrote the Compassionate Guide for parents, for foster care parents, grandparents, your peers, your neighbor. Remember, children grow up, right? They become adults. So at some point in your life, you're either going to become a caregiver or a caregivee or caregiving. You
Thank you.
don't know who you are.
Thank
So
you, Sonja.
thank you.
Thank you. And I love the word compassionate you
Yes.
mentioned in the title of your book. I think that's the part that will appeal to people, is somebody who listens, somebody who cares, somebody who brings heart to a difficult
Yes.
situation. I have trepidation using that word in your case, but I think you understand it comes from a good place. Ladies,
Yes.
thank you. Your stories are wonderful. I really appreciate all you've shared. And I'd like to move on. We have about 30 minutes left. I want to move on to your opening quotes. We're going to do this real fast. I'll read the quote with a little bit of background, and I'd like you to take about 2 minutes. Let's keep this tight because I want to get to your creativity statements, which are fabulous. And you're going to tell us what the quote means to your creativity. So, Ms. Kat Perkins, I am katperkins.com. I had to throw that in there because I love the title of your website, Kat. She has picked an iconic, a classic quote from The Wizard of Oz, 1939, the original musical fantasy film. It's probably in all of the other versions too. This was spoken by Glinda, the Good Witch of the North, played by a beautiful actress named Billie Burke, whose real name, Kat, you'll get a kick out of this. Her real name was Mary William Ethelbert Appleton Billie Burke. Interesting name. I didn't know she had all those names, 1884 to 1970. And let's see. Glinda is a fictional character created by L. Frank Baum for his Oz novel. She is the most powerful sorceress in the land of Oz. And of course, the movie starred Judy Garland, Frank Morgan, Ray Bolger, Jack Haley, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so here is the quote. Kat has picked 2 minutes and tell us what this means to you. You've always had the power, my dear. You just had to learn it for yourself. Kat, tell us what this means to you, please. Go.
What that mean was, I'm she of who I am, honorable in how I live, and extraordinary in my identity. Because so many people that grow up, don't recognize who they are because they've been programmed to be and to think that they are something else. My aunt used to tell me that I was ugly and unlovable and I would never amount to anything. And so I would talk to myself. I would motivate myself. I would encourage myself with words. I would watch The Wizard of Oz and I would listen to Glinda when all Dorothy wanted to do was go home. Click 3 times and you can make it to where you need to be. You can go home. And so when I getting into a dark place, I would just basically click my heels and think about what Glinda said to me. The power has always been within you. So I never allow things to beat me because I know that the power is within me. I am more than a conqueror. Like I said, breast cancer like King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Breast cancer didn't have nothing on me. I was not going to allow it to beat me. My aunt used to beat me physically, but I wasn't going to allow her to beat me spiritually. And that's what I've learned with that message, that I could take what I have on the inside and I can allow it to work my life on the outside, not take those things that they said externally and carry them internally where it would get me down where I couldn't function, because that's how people become drug addicts, alcoholics, depressed, crazy, all kind of things. And that is not my life. So I'm like, no, okay. First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. So
there you go.
Don't allow things to get the best of me because I have the power within me to excel, because that's what Glinda told me. That was her promise. And that was God's promise to me. He said he would always take care of me. So that's what that means to me.
Thank you very much.
Basically.
It's a beautiful quote. It's one of my favorites, actually. So thank you. It applies to everybody, especially us. Let me go on. Zumrut has picked a quote from a song performed and co-written by a lovely young lady named Irene Cara. The movie was Flashdance, 1983. That was impactful. And the title of the song is Flashdance, What a Feeling. Interesting story. Giorgio Moroder, who I think worked with Donna Summer, he did the music for it. It was done for the film, and the lyrics were co-written by Irene Cara. It spent 6 weeks at #1 in the Billboard Hot 100. It got gold certification. She won a Grammy for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance. But I don't know if any of you know this. Irene Cara never got the royalties from the song. And when she sued for
Yes, right.
$1.5 million settlement, the record company went into bankruptcy and said, we have no money, we can't pay you. So she fought for years to get her share of the songwriting credits. And anyway, so here is the lovely quote. I'm not trying to take away from that, Zumrut. The quote is, first, when there's nothing but a slow glowing dream. What a beautiful line. Zumrut, take 2 minutes and tell us what this means to you, please. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I chose it because I feel I lived that. For many years, I was in a very structured world. Computer systems, global consulting, complex projects, high responsibility, performance, and from the outside, it looked successful. But inside, there was a slow glowing dream, a desire to write, to speak, to bring something more human into the success conversation. At first, it was just a glow. It was not proven. And I think many creative journeys begin exactly like that. Not as a perfect strategy, but as a signal that something in us is still alive and wants to move. The challenge is we often dismiss that glow. We say, it's not practical, it's not ready, it's too late. Who am I to do this? Or we pressure it too soon. We want the full plan before we honor the dream. But for me, the glow matters because the glow is often the beginning of the next version of our life. So the tool is very simple. Ask yourself, where's the slow glowing dream in me right now? Where is it? And then ask, what's one moment I can give it today? One conversation, one small step. Not to prove it, not to perfect it, but to honor it. Because the glow is the beginning and the movement is how we honor it.
That's
Thank you.
beautiful. That's absolutely
Yes.
beautiful. And going back to what you were saying before, Zumrut, you talked about certain aspects of creativity. On this show years ago, I was talking to my guests about what is creativity, and we came up with some words like curiosity, courage, confidence, just figuring stuff out, asking questions, barreling ahead, right, Kat? Keeping on moving. And Kat, I have to tell you, I grew up with Miracle Whip mayonnaise too. And I saw it in your book. And I have to tell you, it's in my notes. Ladies, forgive me, but I put it in my notes. I'm trying to get the LIGHT version, and my supermarket stopped carrying it. And Amazon is carrying it in a version that is the Kraft Mondelez version that is being sold in Germany. And when people get it on delivery, the expiration date is already passed on the, so I can't get the light version anymore. So I have to allow a couple more calories for my Miracle Whip. I just bought a big jar. I'm sorry. Sometimes something just hits you. That's my courage, is to say that on a live show. Thank you very much, Zumrut. That was absolutely lovely. Let's go to Sonja with a J. Her quote, you've picked one from, this is a classic, from The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, 2001 epic fantasy adventure film. It's part of a 3 series. We know that, directed by Peter Jackson, based on J.R.R. Tolkien's 1954 novel. The films are The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and The Return of the King. This is one of the greatest and most influential film series ever made, one of the highest grossing series of all time, with just a mere 2.991 billion worldwide. I don't know how they did it out so many digits,
Right.
but they just kept it. It won 17 out of 30 Oscar nominations. And Sonja, forgive me, but before I read the quote, I have to tell you, the wizard, Gandalf the Grey, was offered the part to Sean Connery. He didn't understand it. He said no. Patrick Stewart disliked the script. He said no. Patrick McGowan turned it down. He had health issues. Christopher Plummer turned it down. Sam Neill had a scheduling conflict. He was doing Jurassic Park 3. And Ian McKellen enjoyed playing Gandalf. So I just wanted to tell you that. It was an interesting history. Here's the quote Sonja has picked. All we have to do is to decide what to do with the time that is given to us. Yes. So Sonja, 2 minutes. I'm keeping you to 2 minutes. Go.
Okay, I'll try. No, that's a long one. All we have to do is to decide what we want to do with the time we have. This moment, you are not promised 1 hour from here. We often tell others, I'll see you tomorrow. And I said, how do you know? I always would say when I leave someone, if God be willing, the creek don't rise. One of my Norwegian friends one day say the creek don't rise. He's literally thinking the creek is going to rise. I say, if it rises, then you won't see me. I guess I'll see you on the other side. So I have learned to do with whatever the time that you have. It is limited. We don't know, you know.
Sonja,
I
how
saw
does this affect you though? How does
in me and my
personally?
life. So
Yes,
in
go
my
ahead.
life, I have learned to seize the opportunity
Okay.
at that moment. When you see something, an inkling, since I'm a person, I feel that I'm a very spiritual person. So I am led by many things. When I see something, I react on it. You know, I don't wait to say, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it later. Later may not come. So we have to learn to be very sensitive to the moment when it comes. Write it down, stay in touch with the moment. Stay in touch with the moment, you know, and seize it in life.
Carpe diem,
Write
boys.
it down.
Carpe diem. Dead
Carpe
Poet
diem.
Society. Yep. Professor
Carpe
John
diem,
Keating.
seize the day. And I thought about the gauntlet, you know,
Yep.
when you want to win
Absolutely.
that race, put all you have
There
into
you
it.
go. Ladies, thank you for the quotes. I have to tell you a funny story. I do a show called Say What? Good News every morning. It's 4.5 minutes long, 5 days a week. And I look for interesting stories very few people have heard of. And there's a man in the UK who just set the Guinness Book of World Records. He is a marathon runner, former Royal Marine in the UK. He knits while he runs in a marathon. This is a thing, ladies. People knit while they run, and his scarf was the size of a giraffe, 18 feet 3 inches long, and he set a Guinness World Record of marathoning and knitting at the same time, and it was multiple colors. I have pictures of it I can send you. I thought you'd all get a kick out of seizing the moment, Sonja. The guy's running a marathon. You did knit, purl, 2, 1. Okay, I got to, oh, that's another mile there. Okay, let's go. Anyway, they take this seriously, so I thought you'd find that completely trivial and not interesting at all, but I had to throw that at you. Okay, ladies, let's go to our creativity statements. I'm looking at the clock here. We got about 17 minutes left, so let's keep this brief. And Kat Perkins, I'm starting with your creativity number 1. I'll read it, and I just want you to tell us a little more about it. You say, I never really considered myself to be creative. I would always say my mind wouldn't shut off. Never wanted to go to sleep. During the pandemic, I was bored out of my wits, so I picked up a paintbrush and taught myself how to paint. I was a girl who couldn't draw a stick man. My first painting was a blue vase or vase with yellow daffodils. It felt amazing, and you were watching Bob Ross on TV teaching how to paint. So, Kat, why don't you take 2 minutes and tell us what this means to you? It's delightful. Talk to me.
Well, picking up that paintbrush because I had COVID and my husband had COVID and my son had COVID and we all had to stay in separate rooms. And again, I was losing my mind because again, I'm always thinking and doing something, I'm always out. And this had me like I was, on lockdown. And so I ordered, Amazon has everything. So I ordered everything from Amazon and I just started painting. But it gave me a sense of peace. It really did something to me when I saw the vase and I'm like, did I do that? I remember when I was in kindergarten, I was my friend, her name was Kim McCauley. Kim could just draw so well in the kindergarten class. She was always drawing the houses and the trees, and I couldn't draw. And I would always say, Kim, will you draw my tree for me? And she would say, okay. She would always draw my trees. And so one day I was sitting here and looking out the window during COVID, and I started to sketch this tree. And when I looked up and I saw it on this canvas, it was a beautiful tree. And I had to reach out and find Kim McCauley and said, look what I've done. And I said, Kim, you don't have to draw my trees for me anymore.
That is fantastic. I started painting before COVID. I bought a painter's kit, and it was like a model's case, the big portfolio. I bought it and stuck it in the closet for 4 months. And one day I took it out. I said, why in the hell did I buy this? What was on sale? Put it back in the closet. Took it out again. Look, there was a picture book on how to do with paints and with brushes and all that. Put it in the closet. Took it out one day. I never stopped painting. I have about 450 paintings now, and I filled a garage with them. They're in every room of my house here in Tennessee, and I paid a lot of money to have them shipped along with the piano and everything else. But
that's something. It calmed my spirit and it allowed me to think. I'm painting and I'm thinking,
it's
I'm creating.
yes,
It
yes,
does something to you. It
yes.
just it woke me up, really did. It just made me come alive, and that's the honest God truth.
Absolutely. And I do abstracts and I do all kinds of acrylics and watercolors. And I'll show you if you stick
Cool.
around after the show, I'll show you some of my work here.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Just quick question, quick. Zumrut, have you ever picked up something that you didn't know what to do with it, like a paintbrush or something out of curiosity?
Not paintbrush, but playing piano. Currently, yes, my daughter takes piano lessons, and so I decided, okay, why not? So
Why
I
not?
gave it a try, and I enjoyed it so much.
There
So
you
yeah.
go. There you go.
Mhm.
Sonja with a J, anything you've done? Two sentences. That's it, because we got to move on. What do you think? Anything you've done that
You know,
was a surprise to you?
tons,
Hmm?
tons and tons. I'm a creator from the time I was born, literally.
Give me
I
one
start,
example. One
okay, one
example.
of them is I'm a designer and a seamstress since I was 7 years old.
Right. You
The
designed
older
gowns?
ladies, remember I told you, in the basement of the church. I
Yes.
think they were from the I don't know
Yeah.
what diocese, but I was 7, and they
And
taught me how to sew. I
by
thought I was supposed to sew
hand.
on a sewing machine by hand,
By hand.
and I
Yes.
had to learn how to make an apron, the
For
doll
doll
clothes,
clothes. I
and
have it.
learn how to do what they call slip stitching.
Lovely.
So by the time I was 14 years old, my dad put me in business. He got me my 1840 Singer sewing machine,
Hey.
and it had the one with the pedal.
Oh,
And my
yeah.
dad says, "You're going to be a millionaire." And
I have
I
story.
did. I
You sent
did
me
it,
some information about the beautiful clothes, and you did them for one of your
Oh,
sisters. And
I'm going back to it now. I'm finding all these women calling me
lovely,
saying, we need
lovely.
to learn. We need you. There are no good seamstresses around
There
here.
you go. It's an art. It's a forgotten art, and
It
it's
is.
important to bring it back. Bravo to all of you. Kat, thank you for that statement because look what it did around the table. Zumrut,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the clock, ladies. I want to make sure we get everybody in here. Zumrut says, some of my best ideas arrive in quiet moments, creativity. Sometimes while traveling, sometimes during reflection, and sometimes, surprisingly, often in the shower. You're not the first guest who told me that. Last week we had somebody, and the week before. When the mind relaxes and there is space,
Nice.
creativity tends to appear naturally. Space invites creativity. That's a beautiful statement. So, Zumrit, I don't want to know what your showers are like, but I want to know. I want to know. I'm sorry, it's not that kind of a show. I want to know what kinds of ideas come to you in the shower, and then we'll quickly ask Sonia with a J. I see it caught on, and Kat if they have any of those water moments, whether it's a lake or whether it's a running faucet or a river. Zumrit, tell me.
Well, actually, when I felt stressed or overwhelmed, this started actually when I was doing sports. So when I was stressed or overwhelmed, the sports helped me release what I was carrying emotionally. So my mind became clearer, my body felt alive again, and then creativity had space to come through. So I think many of us believe creativity comes from pushing harder, but no, no, no. Creativity comes when our nervous system has space. So it's like traffic. When we are stressed or overloaded, the mind feels like a city at rush hour. Everything is there, our ideas, memories, answers, but nothing moves freely. But when the nervous system settles, it's like the holiday season. The roads open, traffic flows again, ideas can move, and answers can appear. So I think the question would be, what would help my system open right now? A walk, a shower, movement, a change of environment. So space is not empty, but space is creative. And my focus is asking the question and then forgetting about it and then going to shower or creating space and receiving the answer.
I used to leave paper and pencil next to my bed on the bedside table when I was in my teens, and I would wake up in the middle of the night with the answer to my mathematics homework problem sometimes.
Wow.
Seriously, I would write down, and these were complex equations. I loved math. And I remember having a pencil and paper. This is way before cell phones, ladies. Don't even go there. And, and I just wrote something down. I get up in the morning and say, okay, yeah, let me check. I think that was pretty good. So I think in our dream state, if you're not having 3D Technicolor dreams, we could be solving problems too. That's interesting. Giving your creativity space. I like that, Zumrut. Kat, does this mean anything to you? Resonate with you? And then Sonja, and then we're going to go to Sonja's statement. Kat, what do you think?
Well, I agree with her. Your creativity does need space. In the shower, I sing in the shower. So when I'm in the shower singing, that opens up my mind and it relaxes me and things come to me in music through song. So, so I agree that space you need to be able to relax so that you can think and get quiet. I say I go deep within myself when I do that.
Mhm.
And you talk to Dee, don't you? You talk to
Yes.
Diane.
I definitely talk to Dee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has
All the
conversations with Diane with two N's. Sonia with a J and Diane with two N's. I noticed them. And Miracle Whip on the sandwich on the side to fuel you.
Oh
I know,
yeah.
dear. Yeah, I know. We're good. We're good. We're sisters in Miracle Whip. Sonia, does this mean anything to you about
Oh yes. Oh,
having space and quiet? Just tell me briefly. What does this do for you?
it's something that I strive for every day. Peace is very important to me. This is something that I do. I have plaques in my house about peace. I say when people come here, I do not allow any type of strife to enter my house, or I tell them to do an about turn and you must go the other direction. So
Ooh.
I don't allow certain spirits in my house. I believe in peace because it causes disruption of all types. I believe in, since I'm a swimmer, I do love water. We were born in water, right? And water is renewing. Many people use it for many reasons.
Tell me
Water,
something.
cleansing.
I want to know. I want to talk about you. I know you
Okay.
said wonderful things, but
Yes.
it's about you, not the world.
Yes, I love water.
When you're swimming, do ideas
Yes.
come to you? That's what
Oh my
Zumrut's
God,
talking.
yes.
What kind of
Because-
ideas? Give me an example.
So I have a pool. I swim every day.
Yeah.
So swimming is very important. I'm a diver. So I love to go down deep into the pool and stay in there as long as possible. Opening up the mind,
Yep.
opening up the chakras of the brain,
Yep.
clearing it out so the other things can come in. Because I'm a person that tends to absorb a lot of energy. I have, there are people who have exploded with the energy, Yeah, they have true stories. So I know I have a lot of energy. And because I attract that energy, I have to release it.
And swimming
I'm
does that.
always, yes, I've been this
Thank
way
you.
my whole life. So
Thank
yes,
you.
that's an important is for us to renew our mind,
Thank
renew
you.
our body.
There you
Water
go.
is refreshing.
It's beautiful. Zumrut, thank you for that. The shower was the key to that whole thing,
Mhm.
creating space and the impression and the impact of water and that quiet. And there's something about water. It's more than quiet. There's an energy, there's an action, there's a flow, there's something happening. Maybe far away, but something, it's like music in the background. That's what I think of. So let's go to Sonja, and I'm picking your statement number 3. We've heard about your wonderful sewing designs, but let's talk about this. Sonja, we've got about 5 minutes left, so we're going to keep this tight, and I want to get reaction from the other two ladies. So you say, I typically write inside the house because it's easier to level my laptop when writing as opposed to outside. The time I write is based on how I am moved at the moment. Sometimes I get an epiphany and I have to stop. I typically write at my kitchen counter table, perfect height, chair is comfortable, and I get a cup of tea or a glass of wine, day or night, whatever, it depends on when I'm writing. So Sonja, 2 minutes is all we got, lady. Please just tell me where in your kitchen and how do you do it? Just quickly, what do you do?
Like now, I'm in my kitchen right now. It's one of the things I'm doing since I'm a homeopathic. I write, I create, I design foods. I'm all about health, rejuvenation. I'm all about keeping as healthy and as long as you can. I'm trying to extend that 120 years unless they leave us before then. The world gets destroyed. And so I believe in that. So I move around the house. It's cool right now where I live. It's hot weather. So I want to be cool enough so that I can create. When I go around my house, there's space. I have a lot of space. And I love to go up the stairs, down the stairs, sit on the stairs, and I think and I reflect. And then I have things. I have things where my travels. I have, the Plaza de Mayor. When I was there, what did it mean when I was there? What happened on that day? The old man that was painting it, it wasn't quite dry. And I'd take it to the airport and they smudged it because they thought I was carrying something, you know?
Oh,
Yeah. And I had, because I'm a painter and an artist, I had to fix it, you
yes.
know? So I love art, just like Kat. You know, I think it's so beautiful. You
But
create.
but we're talking about your kitchen table. I want to talk
Yes.
about creating in your house. Let's quickly
Yes.
go. Kat, 1 minute for you. Sonja, that was great. Kat, do you write in your house? Do you have an office? Where do you write?
Well, all over the place. At my dining room table, I do have an office, which is considered to be my studio, and I also have a container in my back of the house that I call the cat house. So
Careful, lady.
I say when I tell people it's the cat house, and I always say meow. But anyway,
I bet you do. Go ahead.
that's where I write. And I also have an office, if I just, need some real quiet time when I know nobody's around, because I have a little poodle and Kylie likes to be up under me all the time. And sometimes she's gonna growl or bark and the noise is, disturbing. So I do have my own peaceful places, that my little nooks that I have.
Important.
The one place that I go to that nobody would, my husband used to say, "What are you doing?" And I'm saying, "I'm in the closet." You know, in the closet, because I have grandchildren, my grandchildren and my daughter and my son, everybody be in the house, and I have something on my mind that I need to deal with. I go in the closet and close the door. The
Mhm.
closet is a big closet. There's
I
enough
hope
space
so.
for me to go in there and sit down, and I can sit on the floor and just think and write and just be by myself. So I do
That's
have a little.
lovely. That's lovely. Zumrut, where do you
I
write?
like
I can give
that.
you exactly 1 minute because we got to start closing. Go ahead, Zumrut. Where do you write?
It's my office, but actually I'm pretty flexible, so I can write anywhere.
Okay.
Uh, so
Thank
I
you.
I have
Go-
my notebook and I can write anywhere.
Do you write by hand or do you write
Yes,
by
by hand.
keyboard?
By
By hand.
hand. Mhm.
Ah, see what comes out when we have these conversations?
Mhm.
Very, very interesting. Yes, I don't write by hand anymore, but I'm a computer gal. You know that, so I type. I'm still working on my novel, ladies, and yeah, I've decided not to finish it yet, but I made a commitment to myself and to my therapist that I'm going to get the novel ready in shareable PDF form. I have the artwork. It's almost ready. 3 years. I have just a little bit to finish the plot at the very end, just waiting for a little bit touches. By the end of June, I'm going to have it ready to send to friends. I may not publish it, but it's going to be ready. And if you'd all like it, you get on my list. Okay, there you go.
I love it.
So, ladies, I want to read some things to you. I have a quote from Lucy Maud Montgomery, who wrote Anne of Green Gables in 1908, Canadian author. You may or may not have heard of her book. And chapter 19, I think you're going to love this. The title of the chapter is A Concert, a Catastrophe, and a Confession. How's that for a title, Kat Perkins? Is that something? And she wrote the following: something just flashes into your mind, so exciting, and you must out with it. If you stop to think it over, you spoil it all.
There you
Think
go.
about that, ladies. Capture that moment of creativity. And Rapunzel, Mandy Moore in the 3D computer animated musical adventure fantasy comedy film in 2010 said, it's Tangled was the movie. Venture outside your comfort zone. The rewards are worth it. Isn't that what we're doing with our creativity? Finding new ways. And the Rolling Stones said, you can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you'll get what you need, right, Sonja with a J? So let me dedicate one of my poems. I belong to an online poetry group, and this was every Wednesday we get a prompt from the moderator, and during the months of April and November each year we get a prompt every day. So I write between 3 and 5 poems a day during April and November. This is going for three
Wow.
years, and every Wednesday 1 to 3 poems. I have about 900 poems. No, I haven't published them yet, but they're a lot of fun. This was an acrostic, and the prompt was write a night shift poem, Nightshift. I like acrostic, so I wrote Nig. I wrote for each
Hmm.
letter in the word, and I'm not going to show it to you, but I will read it to you, and I'm dedicating it to the three of you. So listen up. Never quite really at rest. It's the life of a creative, going, gripping, gyrating, growling, groaning, growing, highs and lows flowing on a mental Mobius strip. The days are the nights are the days again, shifting off and on, into and out of gear, hoping for unique brilliance even once. It's a calling, command, curse, roller coaster, finding eureka, euphoria amid frustration and fears. Thus is the life of the creative. I hope you enjoyed that, ladies. That's one of my favorites out of my 900 poems. And by the way, before the movie came out in 2014, I ended my show with the top 10 tips for women. And before the movie came out, this was the number one tip. I think you'll all like it. Aspire to be Barbie. The biatch has everything. There you go. And let me close us out now. Here's the final, and I'm going to ask you to laugh in just a second. Here we go. And stick around. We'll talk after. Life is short. Break the rules. Yep. Forgive quickly. I'm still trying to figure that one out. Kiss slowly. That's best. Love truly. And here we go. Ladies, laugh with me for 2 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Laugh uncontrollably. Don't hurt yourself. And never regret anything that made you smile. Final words. Work like you don't need the money. Dance like no one's watching. When I taught disco to 225 people in a high school cafeteria near Eugene, Oregon, and they wouldn't give me a wooden stage, I didn't fall, but boy, people were watching me dance. Sing like nobody's listening and love like you've never been heard. Ladies, we all have. Let your heart regroup, regrow, regenerate, and learn to love again. Money talks, chocolate sings, la. I allow myself that much. And last but not least, I stole this line from somebody years ago. Thank you for turning me on. I'm Radio Red. Let's go out with some music here. And this is the music to my new show, Say What. Join me. Let's dance. Don't go away. We're still streaming. You love this music. Here we go. Lyrics are coming. Good news. Morning coffee. Decaf, please. Scrolling. I've had enough. Same old drama. Same old scene. Flip the dial. That's what I mean. Let those bad vibes fade. Get those headlines out of the way. Hit play. Good news. We talk it out. We lift that mood, ladies. That's what we're doing. Good people doing what they do. Feel that smile coming through.